Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Christian,
It's your boy D Young, and this
and this
is
is
Word
Word
on
on the
the
Block.
Block.
So a lot of stuff going on these past couple weeks. A lot of stuff in the education field or industry, and a lot of stuff with online apps popping up, and maybe even some getting banned. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. But how's everything going with you, bro?
It's been pretty good. It's been a hot week working outside in the sun. Super duper hot, 90s, but we're managing.
Cool, cool. Yeah, it's getting hotter. Every day's like 90 degrees plus at
Oh
least.
yeah.
And sunny. So it's supposed to rain tomorrow though, but we'll see.
I
But
think it's like only like 30%. We should be
30%.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But cool. So obviously the big word on the block, especially with the Gen Z kids, is that TikTok might be banned in the US. And it already is banned in India because um they had a little ruffle out in India and China. But India has banned it already, and that has translated over to uh, Triller being the top app being downloaded. Triller is like a knockoff TikTok. And the reasoning behind it, they said, is to protect data and privacy of its 1.3 billion users that India has on TikTok. So that's pretty crazy. So that's happening, and then the U.S. is considering it as well with Trump and everybody else. They're kind of considering it due to concerns about the same kind of things, which is Chinese surveillance and things like that. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I don't know much about how India and how China dealt with that, but I think TikTok will take a big hit as a app and business itself, because shoot, America is a big contributor to TikTok. A bunch of young kids, 14, 13, up to like our age, are all into TikTok making videos. And a lot of the, creators are from America. And I think that with that happening, it's going to cut down a lot of TikTok, and it might just end up just becoming a dead app, just like Vine or something.
Sure. Yeah, I would say I think I don't know if you've been on TikTok lately, but there's people like talking about like why the US government is doing this, and they say it's because of data and privacy issues.
Yeah.
Because this company is owned by China. The people that don't know, this is a Chinese company. Even though the CEO is American, the company is Chinese based and owned by a Chinese. It's a Chinese company, pretty much. So, a lot of the reasons that people have said that he wants to ban it is because Trump, or he meaning Trump, is because he's mad at TikTok users because they trolled his rally. I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago his rally, like nobody showed up even though all the tickets were bought, and
Yeah.
that's because a lot of people made a movement on TikTok saying like, "Hey, let's buy the tickets but not show up." So he thought he could have like a packed arena, but no one was really there. And so if you don't remember, back in his run back in 2000, I believe 18. Oh no, I'm sorry, 2016. He used a lot of social media and social media's data to be able to help win his campaign. He used
Yeah.
Facebook data. He used a lot of TikTok data. Used all their advertising avenues to be able to spice up his campaign and also control the conversations between the race. That's something that his opponent didn't do much of. And so I think with TikTok, he's not going to be able to do that because TikTok does not allow political ads, and Twitter has banned political ads as well. So I think him not being able to control the conversation, this might be one of the reasons why that he wants to do this. Another thing is Apple and Samsung have a strict data policy. So everything that TikTok does, it has to go through the App Store, which is owned by Apple and Samsung.
Yep.
And they can see exactly what TikTok does, and they can see they know exactly what TikTok does. And if TikTok is doing anything like that, they can just pretty much take TikTok off the App Store, so no one can use it anymore. So
Yeah.
I mean, all the things are there for that to happen. There's a lot of other reasons, like Facebook. Like people are against TikTok, but Facebook uses their data and sells it to people in China. So it's kind of like the same thing. So I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth, but I'm not really with the TikTok ban. I think it's stupid for him to do that. I think it's or the government to do that. I think it's just dumb.
I
Um,
think it's a very big selfish reason that he's doing that. I notice a lot of things that Trump does is a lot about himself. And if a lot of things are against him, he wants it out. He wants it out.
yeah,
He's
obviously.
a narcissist.
Well, he can't control the conversation on those platforms. I think Twitter,
Yeah.
he's a bigger voice. TikTok, like he's not gonna be able to do too much. I think that's another reason why you see this ban with on Facebook, or not ban, but people are doing a boycott on Facebook advertising. So a lot of companies, big companies, are taking their money out of Facebook advertising, and Facebook makes all the money in advertising. So they're taking the money out of Facebook advertising for this month in July because Facebook is not doing what these other platforms are, which is they're not combating hate speech, supposedly, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Twitter has blocked false news from Donald Trump. Donald Trump has put out false news these past couple of months about a lot of certain things, and Twitter has blocked it because they're like, "Oh, that's false news. You can't put that stuff out there, or that's hate speech. You can't have these groups and stuff like this on the platforms." And so Facebook hasn't done the same thing. So a lot of companies are coming out and are boycotting Facebook, and so Facebook's kind of getting a little bit of bad rap there. So that's why Trump is really he's loud on Twitter, he's loud on Facebook, but he's not gonna be able to break through the noise on TikTok. So that's really why this is kind of getting out there right now. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Any other thoughts on the TikTok ban?
Man, like I said, he's just a very selfish person. Everything he does is for his benefit,
Yeah.
So I think with the ban, it's more of like I said, it's more of he can't speak out on it. And I think that with him banning it, I don't think he can just ban it by himself. He's gonna have to go through a lot of process before he can actually say, "Oh, we have banned it."
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna happen. I highly doubt it's gonna happen. They're not really. I don't know if they are or not, but from what you've said, I don't think they're violating any legal rights or anything. It's not like Facebook where they're selling information about people to China, like you said. So I think they should be fine. I think these 15, 16-year-olds would be happy that it's not going to get banned, and I think everything will be fine, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's hope not. But talking about 15 and 16-year-olds, or just a Gen Z, obviously a lot of them have to take, or at least they used to have to be able to take SAT, ACT
Yeah.
tests to be able to get into college, right? That's how colleges grade you on your SAT and ACT scores and your grades, of course, and everything else in between. But those are the two biggest things. And so a lot of schools have been pulling back on that requirement because of obviously the coronavirus, and having those tests in those locations like that with a bunch of people is not going to be safe at all. And so
Yeah.
they're pulling back on that until fall 2021 at least. So right now, 51 universities have dropped the ACT SAT requirement for at least fall 2020. What's your thoughts on that?
I wish they did that when we were back in high school.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, honestly, like the SAT,
Hated
ACT,
it.
dude, that was like the biggest stress next to like Minnesota. We call it the MCA testing, the assessments. Dude, like those were the biggest stress. Those really dictate the ACT, SAT really dictates where you stand in like all your categories of like math, literature, literacy, whatever, grammar. And I think that canceling that will really show colleges what each student is really capable of, and it'll help students really get to choose what they want to do in their future. For example, like a lot of kids go to college but they don't know what they want to do. This will help kids go to college that want to go to college and really just get to choose their classes that they want, because with the ACT, the AccuPlacer and all that, it really places kids in their generals to put them where they think they should be. Like I knew kids in high school or in college that were taking math like below level 100 classes,
That was
taking
that
these
was me
easy,
low key. That was me low.
dude. They're taking these easy classes even though they were like way smarter than that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I had okay. I ain't trying to brag. My ECT was a 24, but then
Okay.
it was 24. It was 24. All right. Well, my first one was a 17, but I knocked out during it. So like I was done. And I told my
This
parents, and
dude
they were
knocked out
mad.
in the ACT.
I
Wow.
knocked out during the grammar part, bro. I had like 2 hours of sleep, and I was up doing whatever what the frick I was doing. So then I took it the second time, and I got 24. And in my math portion, you know how they do the averages of each score? My math score was like a 28. And then what happened was they placed me in a statistics class that was like a level 300 my freshman year. And I was like, yo, I don't know what the hell is going on. And I think canceling out the ACT, SAT will help kids really go to the classes they need and what they really want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think ACT, SAT is. I mean, to be honest, like a lot of kids, like even myself, I'm not good at tests, like written tests.
Uh-huh.
I hate that. I'd rather write a paper, but I even hate writing papers too. But if I had a choice, I'd write a paper instead. Um, but yeah, a lot of kids, they like some kids have anxiety when they have tests like that. This is
Yep.
such a big test, and it really dictates, like you said, a lot of the classes that you're going to be able to take.
And it dictates what colleges you can and can't get into.
Exactly, and so even if you're like one of the smartest kids, you don't do well or under pressure, or if you have all this anxiety, you may not be able to, do that well in these tests. So I think these tests are really, to be frank, really stupid. Whoever came up with this, I don't know what's wrong too, but it's not. I'm glad that this is happening. I hope that this is something that becomes permanent, because these tests are just like these tests. They ask you questions that like are like from way beyond like you forget about, right? And then you come back,
Yeah.
you get to like try to memorize it all again, and it's just like, and you can't even really study for it. Like even when you go to like the ACT prep stuff, like, oh, you can't really study for it. It's more like based on like you're able to be able to test take. It's like it's so dumb. So I think it's really just the business side of stuff. I think that's the real reason why they want to keep it. I mean, even the ACT people, that the ACT Inc., which is the company that owns ACT stuff, they're like, it helps students get ready for college. I don't believe that crap at all. And there's a student nonprofit out there called a student-run nonprofit called Student Voice, which is calling to action, which is make these tests optional, which I think
Yeah.
is a good start. Make it optional for kids to be able to take it, and do not force kids to be able to take this, because like I said, sometimes these kids, they may not be good at test taking. These type of things should not really dictate how we judge how kids should be able to be accepted to different universities and things like that. It's not a true reflection of their abilities, So, and another thing is something I thought about, which is, and I read about, which is like we just saw last year the college admission scandals, which is like these wealthy families are buying the ability for these kids to be able to get into these colleges, such as these actresses. They bought in the ability for the kids to be able to go to like all these big name schools. And so who knows? I mean, like I said, ACT is a business, and so they may even take or change the scores of these kids' scores if the parents pay them. If we look at numbers, um, I like doing my research. If y'all don't know, by the way, so lowest scores are families of incomes of 20,000 and below, and the highest scores are of families of 200,000 plus family income. So, I mean, it looks like maybe these people are paying these ACT people off just for higher scores and stuff. Who knows? I'm just throwing it out there. No real facts on that, but just
Conspiracy theory.
I mean, who knows, So
Yeah.
all that type of stuff going on, really, who knows what goes down there. But obviously, like I said, ACT is a business. Colleges are businesses at the end of the day. And so they will do what they need to do to be able to make sure that they get their funding.
Yep.
Yeah, anything else on that, bro?
My bad. No, I've got nothing else on that. I hated those tests, bro. I hated it like
Worst.
from the bottom of my heart.
The worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And staying on this education issue, there are international students who are being deported or may get deported back home, or have a visa banned, because a lot of colleges are going online only, because of coronavirus and things like that. And so
Yep.
ICE, which is a government entity, is sending people or saying that these kids have to go back home, because their classes are all online. And so what has happened is people like Harvard and MIT, they are suing the Trump administration for this. What we don't, I mean, I'm gonna let you go first. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think you should give them a chance, or not choice, not chance. I think you should give them a choice of deciding whether they want to stay or not. Regardless, when the whole pandemic started, think about it. They were already here. What difference is it going to make if you send them over there? If you send them back home, you send them back home, you're risking the chance of spreading the virus some more. You know, if they're over here already, and there's already countries closing off their borders. I think that it's best if you give them an option to either go back or stay, because even though classes are online, you still have to be over here in order to be in contact with your counselors, your advisors, and all that. You know, there's still going to be some in-lab stuff that you have to do for class. You sending the kids back over there is just making the problem even bigger.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to kind of dig into, but I will say this is that, like I said, these colleges are businesses, and these international students, I think we talked about this last time. They're banking, and so there's 1.2 million of them at least that are being affected by this. I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah.
probably more than that, and there's about like eight almost 9,000 schools nationwide that these international students attend, and so all of them will be affected with their visas. And so think about like 1.2 million times XYZ, whatever that school's cost is. That's a lot of freaking money. And so these colleges are going to miss out on that. So obviously, Harvard and MIT, these schools that have a lot of international students, they're definitely going to sue the administration or try to fight that, of course.
Yeah.
But also, for them to just do that, like these international students, they provide a lot to our communities and our colleges. I know for
Yeah.
sure. I learned a ton from a bunch of international students around us. They definitely help like push different narratives throughout the school to be able to help us just understand different cultures. But also at the same time, that the things that they bring to the table, they bring such a different perspective to the table. And so if we do that, I mean, it's really going to push it. I think it's really going to put us behind on
Yep.
our growth as a nation if we don't let these international students be able to come and learn here on campus. You know, just being on.
I think with us going to St. Cloud, we had a big international student community, you know?
Yep.
And I think from that being within a cultural org, you know, we went to the same college. We basically experienced the same thing. I think that it's going to, like you said, it's going to push us back. We're going to be a step behind. And I feel like we're going to walk back in time and just be stuck to where it's just Americans now. Even though we're still diverse culturally within America, having the minds and like just having international students come over, it helps open our mind up to think, to see how they think, how they react to things, what's their mindset, what's their opinions on certain situations. You know, like I've been in class where it's like I had a human relations class where I was with I believe she was either from Kenya or Nigeria, but it was a human relations class talking about race. And in that class, we talked a lot about America, white versus black. Okay, so when she came over and she took that class with us, she was like, you know, when we're over there, it's different because it's just all Africans. You know, not even African Americans, it's just all Africans. So she said, if the white people are over there, they're not going to be really racist towards them because it's predominantly a black African community. So when we were talking about it, she was like, she knew what was happening because of like history and all that, but then she never really got to experience racism until she came here and she got to feel for it. And I think that if I didn't have that experience in life, if I didn't get to hear her story, how she reacted to it, I feel like we wouldn't really be open to what is really happening in America, you know? Like we hear about it. We grow up knowing about civil rights, slavery and all that. But to hear just to hear about what she thinks about it is like a good experience for me and for the classmates that were there to listen to her story.
For sure. Yeah. It creates more conversation. It helps us be able to understand each other better because we all, like I said, come from different experiences and we all have different perspectives on a lot of things. So,
Yeah.
And like I said, they provide a lot of resources to these colleges, to our communities as well. So taking that away from us is going to be harmful for our growth as a nation, and I think really set us back because people come over here like I don't know if you saw this. I was watching like a comedy show. I don't know if you ever heard of Ronnie Chang. He was on Crazy Rich Asians. But one of the things is
Is he the
he wears a suit and
yeah, he's a suit guy. He's like,
he always sounds mad.
yeah, there
Uh,
you go, that guy.
yeah, and so one of the things he was like, when people come to US, the Chinese word for the US is great country. So I mean, they come over here, they think that this is land opportunity, which obviously that's pretty much what we are to the whole world outside of the US. So I mean, for them to be able to think of us like that, I mean, that's really, I think, crushing a lot of people's dreams. And so I think, I hope that we pull back on that. We'll see what happens though. And then another thing in the education industry, education is a hot topic today, is that the government wants to open schools in the fall, like elementary, high schools, college. I don't know about college, but at least elementary and high schools, they want to be able to open up the doors for kids in the fall to be able to attend physically in person. What are your thoughts on that?
I just got done watching the news about that and then seeing some stuff on Facebook about that. We already are seeing spikes in the coronavirus COVID-19 from
Huge.
businesses just opening up.
Yeah.
So if you imagine opening schools back up, it's pretty much going to be the same thing times 10 because everybody, our whole population is made up of young kids and older people. But there's more younger people than there is older people. So you bring everyone back to school, it's going to get worse. It's no matter what, it's going to get worse until we find a cure for it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think, well, not what I think, but I saw that the VP and Donald Trump, they're kind of having a discussion on this, and what happened was, they were trying to get like the CDC, like the state CDC. They obviously set the standards about like, what's the best practices, and the government.
Weren't they trying to get like the CDC to say what they wanted them to say?
Exactly, yeah, but
Yeah,
the
I read
CDC,
up on that.
they obviously the CDC kind of, they said no, we should not open up, but they got called out by the VP and Trump saying like, what's your real thoughts on this in person, and I guess a director there was like, I think it'll be okay to open up back, and so, and then, I think that's really a bad decision just because of, like you said, these kids going back. I think the argument from the government was that these kids aren't as affected by corona compared to older people, so they should be okay to be able to go.
Yeah, I read about that too. They were
I
saying
don't
like
get that at all.
the younger kids have better immune systems, they're stronger and all that. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, dude, they're still kids, you know.
and they can still
You're
spread it.
you're in
That's the
your
big thing. They can
prime.
still
Like
spread it.
it's like your body from like 21 to like 32 or something like that. After you get over 40 is when you're going over the hill, you know. When you're younger, you still can get sick because your body is still growing. And I feel like with younger kids going back to school, it's gonna spread. And I don't think at all that we should do that, like I said, until we find a cure.
It's going to spread to the kids. The teachers are going to be there, which are usually older, and then they can come back home to their
Yep.
grandparents that maybe watch them, and they're going to get it, and then it's going to spread to their parents. So it's just, we can't be doing that. We still got to be quarantining and stuff like that. So
Think about it. There's one kid that has it, and it's a classroom of 25. That kid's gonna touch everything from toys, from pencils, paper, the desk,
yep,
the doorknob, especially the doorknob.
yep,
Everybody touches a doorknob, you know.
yep.
And one kid touches it, the next kid touches it, contracts it,
Think
and he
about
touches it.
the playground, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. So yeah, that's a big decision. I don't know. I think, to be honest, this is my interpretation of Trump and a lot of stuff that he's saying. I think he knows that this is bad, but he doesn't want the people to think that. So he says a lot of stuff to cover stuff up, meaning let's open back businesses. He was the first one to say like, let's do that. And I guess we fell into doing that. And then he wants to open up back these schools, because he wants people to be positive. And when anybody questions him about like, why does he not actually be straight up with us about really what's going down, he's kind of backtracks and he takes that as like an insult. Instead
Yeah.
of actually being like, yo, actually being like, yo, this is actually what's going down. He's like, you're bad news and you shouldn't be saying stuff like that. And he just says a lot of
Your
stuff.
fake news.
Yeah, but he's really putting out fake news. Sure, he's trying to make sure that people aren't so scared, but him doing that is just gonna make things worse. Because that means that people that support him are gonna believe that and they're gonna act regular. They're not gonna act like, oh, we need to be cautious. If he just said like, hey, let's be cautious, let's stay inside, let's wear masks, we can't be going out in the schools and can't be going out to businesses and stuff like that, then a lot of his supporters would, agree with that and they probably stay inside. But they support him, so they'd be doing crazy stuff like eating freaking what is it, disinfectant spray crap. So
Yeah, he said I was just kidding about that. I was like,
yep, wow, that's wow. And people actually try this stuff out. So yeah, I mean, the
hey, do
impact
people
that it has is
tried
crazy.
the Tide Pod challenge, bro? I wouldn't doubt if people tried disinfectant.
Yeah, exactly. So crazy stuff, man. Yeah, if he just, said the right things to be able to make sure that, everybody follows suit, I think we'd be in a better spot. But obviously we're in a bad spot now. Like it's climbing. It's not flattening at all, So
Yeah.
it's crazy out here. Last thing is Walmart has released a new platform to be able to combat Amazon Prime, which is called Walmart.
Walmart.
So,
Hold on, can you give me 1 second? I gotta grab my charger really quick.
okay,
I'm gonna cut this part out.
sure, dude.
I'll cut this part out. I was out all day, so my phone was gonna die. Okay. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
So Walmart released a new platform called Walmart Plus, which is a rival to Amazon Prime. They pretty much can do 2-day shipping now. Pretty much exactly like Amazon Prime can do. And Amazon has obviously dug into a lot of the profits of Walmart. Just because everything's online, a lot of the essentials, they can just be sent to the house, making it a lot easier compared to going to a Walmart. And so Walmart has created this new platform to combat this. What are your thoughts on this?
Dude, Amazon is king right now.
Yeah.
Amazon is king of everything from delivering food to they're delivering food, necessities, wants, needs. And I think that Walmart, they have a great platform already from what they're doing. But I think if they're trying to battle Amazon against it, it'll be like Facebook versus MySpace. Only one can really be on top. And I really think that the owner is Jeff Bezos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Bezos.
He's already set the ground on where Amazon is at. And I think that it's going to be very hard for Walmart to compete against them because they're already late in the race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, I think Amazon definitely has a huge head start. But I think one of the selling points is that Walmart can do the same thing, but it's also cheaper per month. Or let's see, per year. My bad. So Amazon is $119 per year, and then Walmart is $98 per year, which isn't that big of a difference, to be honest. Like just for a whole year, that's a pretty freaking deal, no matter what. But it is cheaper, so that is one of the perks. They also are gonna have discounts on fuel at Walmart, so pretty much gas at Walmart's, and also access to like early product deals and things like that. And scan and go services. I don't know if you ever been to what's it called? Sam's Club. They kind of have a scan and go, meaning
Yep,
like
where
you just scan and while you're shopping, and then once at the end you just walk out. because it's already, or
Yep.
you pay at the end and you walk out. You don't have to go through the
Yep.
line anymore. So they're gonna have that service. So I mean, those things. I mean, there comes some competitive edges, but like you said, I think Amazon definitely has the.
The
Uh,
edge.
yeah, it definitely has a head start. It has a head start. It's gonna be tough for Walmart to compete with that, but I think they're gonna be going neck to neck for a long, long time. I think.
Yeah, especially since Walmart's a very, really big #1 retail store out there. It's cheap. Walmart's cheap, but like I said, Amazon's already been ahead of the race when it comes to online shopping and everything. Like, do they sell legit anything? Amazon, anything you want, Amazon pretty much has it. So
Yeah.
Walmart, they can only sell the things that they sell at Walmart, I believe, right? But Amazon, they buy from other like retailers.
Well,
They
that's
buy
not
from
exactly true anymore because I don't know if you've heard of the platform called Shopify. Shopify is an e-commerce web hosting platform. They just had an app released that allows small businesses to be able to list their items from their Shopify store onto Walmart. So
Oh,
let's say I sold these hats, I can put it on Walmart store and people can look it up. It's kind of like Amazon. Amazon, you can list your own items on there too.
yeah,
So it's a little bit of the same deal there, man.
yeah,
So you can do obviously a lot of Walmart products, which they have a lot of everything already, and then there's
yeah,
other people that's gonna be able to drop in their own stuff too. I think they're even gonna have like how Amazon Prime has Amazon Prime Video. Walmart
yeah.
have a video platform as well. They're gonna have people like Neil Patrick Harris and LeBron James and Drew Barrymore create some shows on there, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see what happens. It's
Under Walmart's name. That's kind of weird to think that Walmart's gonna do that.
gonna
It's
be
pretty
interesting.
weird.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
copy Disney Plus, bro. Walmart Plus.
Walmart Plus copy. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they couldn't get more creative. I guess not. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Interesting to see. I mean, they have such a big brand, so they can do anything. Like Walmart.
Dude, they have money.
Yeah, Walmart can create anything they want. All of a sudden, let's say
Yeah.
they wanted to create like their own sports team or something like that. They could. They got enough money to do so. So
They got money, man.
yeah. So nothing is too left field for Walmart. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
There's definitely no budget line for them.
Yeah.
All they need is the money to create a developing team, and they have the money for that, which they're already doing. And that's pretty much game over from there. They have money, man. It's just competing with the #1 competitor, which is Amazon.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Anything else you want to add to everything going on?
One thing I wanted to say was I can't believe Walmart is finally starting to do the scan and go when they own Sam's Club, and
Yeah.
they haven't implemented it yet.
Yeah. How long? How long Santa Claus has done that for?
Shoot, I know about 2 years ago I was doing it because
2
I
years.
was on board. Yeah, I for sure I know for 2 years now because that's when I tried it and it worked. And that's when they did it, so I tried it.
Gotcha.
And then I think that's about it. They probably did it around that time.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it would be like a testing phase with Sam's Club. That's why they made it with Sam's Club first, but it's been 2 years, so maybe not. 2 years is kind of long for a testing phase. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
they need that because they have 20 registers open, but they only have like 5
they
people
never
working
have
the
anything.
register.
Yeah, they never have anybody at the register. There's always like one person.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
then the self registers, dude, they always like malfunction, and you need the freaking workers to come and type in the code for you because you want to cancel an item and stuff.
I always go to Target instead or Cup Foods or something else. So yeah, Walmart, I'm not too big of a fan of, but we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Well, cool, bro. All right, man. That's the word on the block today. Make sure to subscribe and support and follow us on all social media platforms. 81st Ave on everything.
Follow us on TikTok before we get banned, all right?
And comment down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to talk about. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.